Let's move on to the next question. A curve is such that dy by dx is given by this. Now the first thing we can do is simply rewrite this as 4, 6 minus 2x power minus half. Okay, great. Now P is a point on the curve. P is a point on the curve. Great. Now, part 1. The normal to the curve at the point P, it meets the axes at Q and R. We have to find the midpoint of QR. So to find the midpoint, obviously, we must first find the point Q and the point R. Now, for example, here, just to understand, we can make a drawing. The curve, let's say the shape of the curve is something like this. Why not? And then the point P, let's say it's something over here. Over here. This is the point P. The normal to the curve will be a line at 90 degrees at that point, P. This is the normal to the line. Now the normal, it crosses, let me draw this here, for example. This is the y, and this is the x-axis. For example, it is not exact, obviously. It is just an illustration. So this is my axis, and as you can see, we have 2 points of intersection. This is on the x-axis, we have Q, and on the y, we have R. For example, right? So we have to find those 2 points and then find the midpoint in between. Again, this is just an illustration. It is not the exact drawing. It's just an idea of what's happening and what we need to find. But either way, we first have to find the points R or Q and R. That's the first thing we have to find. Now, to find the points, we can see we have to find the equation of the normal and find the point of intersection. Now, how do you find the equation of a normal? It is a straight line. We must first find its gradient. Right. Now, as we have seen many times before, to find the gradient of a normal, we must first find the gradient of tangent. Now, this is simply equal to dy by dx at the point P, where the value of x is 1. This is my x value, my y value. Now, we know dy by dx already. Just replace. You will have 4 over root of 6 minus 2 times 1. That should be what? 4 over root of 4. That should be 2. Now from this, we can find the value. This is the gradient of tangent, which means the gradient of normal could be derived. That should be minus half. Now the main equation behind this is because we know they are perpendicular to each other. Again, tangent and normal, they are at right angle at each other. Because of that, we can use this formula of this relationship, which is gradient of tangent multiplied by gradient of normal, is supposed to give you minus 1. So because of that, we were able to derive this value. Now from here, it's pretty easy. We know the passing point is 1/8, obviously. This is my x value, my y value. So y minus this corresponding value over x minus its corresponding value should be minus half. Now this is just a way that I use to find the equation of a straight line. Now if you guys have any other method, since you have the gradient and the passing point, it should be pretty easy. Now cross multiply, obviously, that should be 2y minus 16. That will be minus x plus 1. Now 2y has to be what? Minus x plus 17. This is my equation of the normal. Okay, great, that is done. Part 1. Equation of normal. Now moving on, we have to find the point Q and R at the axis. So at the x-axis, we know the value of y have to be 0. So replace, you will have 0 equal to minus x plus 17. So x have to be 17. So let's call this the point Q. That should be 17, 0. Now at the y-axis, the value of x have to be 0. So 2y equal to 17, so y have to be 17 divided by 2. That should be 8.5. So the point R is 0, 8.5. So now we have 2 points, Q and R. We have to find the midpoint of Q and R. We can just use the formula, which is the midpoint have to be x1 plus x2 divided by 2. That should be 8.5. x2 plus y1 plus y2 divided by 2. That should be 4.25. So this is the midpoint of QR, part 1 of the question. Now let's move on to part 2 of the question. So here we have to find the equation of the curve, which is y. Now we have to know y is equal to integration of dy by dx. Let's do this. That should be, it is 4 times 6 minus 2x power minus half respect to dx. Let's find out. Now 4 is only a multiple, it will stay outside, we don't care about that. First we have to increase the power by 1, that's the first thing. Minus half plus 1 is half, then divide by the power, then divide by d by dx of the value inside, so d by dx of 6 minus 2x is minus 2x. Okay? Obviously we have to plus c for the constant of integration. So this and this will cancel out, it will become minus 4, 6 minus 2x half plus c, that is y obviously. Now we have to find the value of c. We have to use the passing point, x and y. Y was 8, x is the value of 2 times 1 half plus c. Let's see what do we have. That will be 8 minus 4. 6 times 6 minus 2 is 4, power half is 2, plus c. C will be 8 plus 8, that should be 16. So finally the value of y have to be minus 4, 6 minus 2x, power half plus 16. So that is your question in relation to, I will call this maybe integration. And let's move on to the next question.